So the Bitcoin halving is almost here, and this video basically shows why you should be excited as well about it. So for everybody that does not know what the Bitcoin halving actually is, it's basically pretty simple. Every 4 years Bitcoin has a halving, and that basically means that miners, so people that mine Bitcoin, basically only get half the reward that they got for the previous 4 years. And the huge impact that this has on the market is basically that the supply of Bitcoin isn't the same anymore. So if 6 Bitcoin would come on the market for every block that is mined, then now only 3 are going to come in the future, and that's a pretty big supply shock, especially right now where Bitcoin is in a higher demand. So what does that mean actually for the price of Bitcoin? Because that's basically what everybody's kind of speculating about. So if we look in the past, what happened to the Bitcoin price after a halving? And most people, they know about the cycles, or they have just heard about Bitcoin is going up like crazy, and that always happened after a Bitcoin halving. Here I can show a chart how it actually worked in the past. Like you can see here, Bitcoin went up like crazy after the Bitcoin halving happened, and then it went into the bear market. So there is a high likelihood that this is going to happen as well this year after the halving. And the halving is only like a few hours or a few days away. So, but this is really important right now, because everybody says, the Bitcoin halving is going to happen at this day or at this day. That actually does not really matter, because what matters is how many blocks got mined. And this is not always the same. It takes an average of around 10 minutes to mine one block, and until a certain number of blocks is reached, no Bitcoin halving is going to happen. So it all depends on how many blocks are mined, and I will show or post a link down here so that you can look it up yourself how long it should take. It's probably already happened when you watch this video. So that basically means that really exciting times are coming for Bitcoin. If you see a rally again that we saw 4 years ago, when Bitcoin went the first time to $60,000-$70,000. If that would happen again, that would be really great. But the thing is, right now we are already at this number, $60,000 and $70,000 per Bitcoin. And in my guess is basically that this is probably just because of the spot ETF, because it generated a higher demand. All these big institutions wanted to buy more Bitcoin, just that they can give that to their buyers. And that's really important to consider. Now the big players are already in this market, and when the big players are in, they don't want to lose money. They don't just do irrational stuff to invest in an asset that is not going to stay here for the next years to come. So Bitcoin is, in my opinion, here to stay. And if this rally happens again, then a lot of people are going to be fortunate if they have already stacked up their Bitcoin. But that's only my assumption, because I look in the past what happened, and I saw every time, as I have already mentioned, after every halving, this Bitcoin bull run began. This time is a little different, but there is also the saying history doesn't repeat itself completely, but it rhymes, and that's really important to consider, right? Right now, the spot ETF threw everything a little off. The all-time high got already reached before the Bitcoin halving actually started, and that's unusual. This has not happened before to my knowledge, and yeah, that's different, but it's also okay. But that doesn't mean that it can't go up again, because like the demand is already pretty high for Bitcoin, and yeah, if there is a lower amount of Bitcoin that comes in every day, then yeah, and it stays all the same, like the logical consequences of that is like that Bitcoin will go up in the future, especially in the next 3 to 6 months, and like, you know, we can only assume what is going to happen. But if it's almost like the past, like I looked it up in the past, like after every halving, Bitcoin went up at least 600%, and that's quite a lot, or around 400-600%. Like, and it's always a little lower in the future because there are more Bitcoins around, and like the impact is not as big, in my personal opinion. And yeah, we're probably not going to see like a 600% something again. Wait a minute, now my lights went off. So now it works again. We are probably not going to see like 600% again, but like if it's already like 400%, that's already really amazing. And I'm really excited to be on this journey and see what's going to happen in the future. So, but also one thing that I want to mention here is like a lot of people think like the recent drop in the Bitcoin price was basically because like Iran attacked Israel, and then yeah, they took some Bitcoins out because of that, or the market got a little bit more fearful. But you also have to consider, knowing now about the Bitcoin halving, that yeah, the Bitcoin halving is just around the corner, and the miners, they still want to be profitable and make some money in the future. And if they like suddenly get half the rewards that they receive now, then somehow they gotta maintain the current level, and that basically means that they have to get more equipment to mine Bitcoin. And yeah, what do? They have a lot of Bitcoin, they just sell it and buy new equipment to mine Bitcoin in the future. And that's kind of my thought, is like, yeah, that's basically what's going on, why we see that drop, because like, miners, they still have a huge influence, like Bitcoin works because of them. It's like a huge part of the system, and if they have to level up and buy some Bitcoin just to get the right equipment, that's a completely different and new story. Like, that does not really have to do anything with like Israel. It might have, but it's not that certain. But in my opinion, like the logical conclusion to everything like that is like, yeah, they just sold some Bitcoin to get more equipment, and that's now pretty expensive. Like these graphic cards, they aren't cheap, especially when you want to get a good performance out of them. And yeah, then you have to sell some Bitcoin to get on a decent level. And since there are a lot of big farms around, mining farms, yeah, that takes a lot of money, a lot of Bitcoin, and that's probably why Bitcoin dropped like 10 to 20% in that last few days. And yeah, we will see what happens afterwards. I'm quite excited about it, and I hope you got some value out of this video. Please comment below if you agree or not agree with my statements. I really appreciate your opinion. Leave a sub if you liked it, and we will see us in the next video. Bye guys.